Hi everyone, my name is Priscilla Christie Wijaya and I am a current final year student of International Business Management in Petra Christian University, Surabaya. So as one of those students who have been taught by Professor Dr. Christie, today in this video I would like to share to you all my learnings, experience and knowledge that I've gone through for the past 2 years when I'm joining his courses. So, and how those knowledge and learning and experience constitute to my future career path later on. So now I would like to introduce to you all the framework of 6 A's as developed by Professor Dr. Casey Chan to help us to have a step-by-step analysis, and in fact this framework can actually be used for you all, for me, to establish and create and plan our future, creating my own 6 A's. Let's begin with the first A, which is awareness. So in awareness, one thing that we need to be aware of is ourselves. We need to first understand about ourselves before we are thinking further about our career path. So now I have already fully assessed myself by going through the 5 tests of personality traits. And here is the results. In the first test, in the learning style, I found myself to have a tendency to be a reflector and activist instead of pragmatist and theorist. So as a reflector, I have the tendency to create a thorough planning before I'm making decisions for my life. I tend to weigh the costs and benefits that might occur among the alternative decisions that I face. As an activist, I always welcome new challenges in life because I believe that those challenges are the one that makes me a better person and to develop me to bring myself to the next skill later on. Moving on to the second test, which is the general enterprising test. Through this test, I found that my most dominant traits is drive and determination. And what are those mean? So with drive and determinations, I am a proactive person who believe in my own capability to create my own success. So although I believe in the existence of what people call as luck, but I believe that relying on luck alone will not get me anywhere without putting an effort from me. So I believe that I am responsible for my own life and my own future. Moving on to the third test, in Big 5 personality test, there are two most dominating characters or traits of mine, which are agreeableness and extroversions. So in agreeableness, I have the tendency to be indirect when I'm speaking my thoughts and my words to people because I'm afraid that will hurt their feelings. Now, as an extrovert, I actually am a more social person and I enjoy talking and making conversation with people because I believe that will give me some ideas and more insights with my thoughts. Those 3 tests conducted earlier are the tests that are used to evaluate my individual competences. But how will I behave when I work inside a team? What types of characters that I have when I am becoming a team member? So through the test of Belbin's model of team roles, I found myself to be an implementer and a completer finisher. So I'm a disciplined person who thrive to overcome challenges that are occurred in my group, in my team. And then as a completer finisher, I dislike when I get easily irritated and dislike myself when my works are being procrastinated. So I prefer to create a schedule plan to actually manage my time and finish all of the projects on time. The last test is the tests that are conducted to evaluate my personality or my leadership style when I am leading a group of people. So through this test or through the assessments, I found that I am a type of leader who prioritizes in building relationship, aligning people, and communicating. Because I believe that by building relationship among group members, that will create a sense of belonging inside the groups and that will become the thing that motivates them. Also, by communicating the shared values and aligning people to execute what we are going to strive or we're going to achieve, that will complement the people to actually together deliver the results that we wanted. To summarize, from all the 5 tests that I've done, I found myself as a person who always welcome to challenges, but I am more always careful in taking the next step and making big decisions in my life. In addition, I am also a driven and determined person who believe in my own capability and who believe that I am responsible to create my own success in the future. Those are actually the personality traits that I have, my characters and my behaviors. But how are those traits are actually aligned with my vision and mission and values in life? So my vision is actually to hold a global leadership position in multinational corporations in the world. As to my mission, I would like to bring myself to international scope of work and able to work inside the international scale of fast-moving consumer goods in the world. Now, my values, I've also held fundamental values in my life, which I believe in integrity, professionalism, independence, persistence, and giving 200% of efforts instead of only giving 100% of efforts. I am fully aware that having only envisions and pictured myself what do I want to be in the future is not going to get me there. In fact, I need the right actions and also knows how to implement those actions to be able to get to what I desire. So now to analyze both the actions and adoptions, here I would like to use the model of input process output or IPO model as taught by Professor Dr. Casey Chan to fully analyze my strategic actions. To create the right actions, first I need to know my output. So earlier in the alignment of vision, mission and values, I have already created a big dreams for myself. I want to hold a global leadership position in multinational corporations. But here I would like to specify my vision into short-term and long-term goals. And here I would like to establish what I want to accomplish in 1, 3, 5, and 10 years. In the first year, to be precise, in the next years of 2016, I would like to pursue my career to become a marketing consultant inside multinational consulting firms. And why is that so? Because I have found my passion in marketing, and I believe that by going through inside consulting firm will allow me to learn marketing strategy for different type of industries, different type companies, because consulting firms is not only handling one particular company, but it handles a lot more diverse companies. Continuing in the next 3 years, I would like to pursue my career inside international fast-moving consumer goods in Indonesia, such as Unilever or P&G, and I wish to be able to work inside their marketing division, because I believe that fast-moving consumer goods will be an interesting type of job for my future, because those companies actually create products that are closely related with people's daily consumptions. In the next 5 years, I would like to pursue my MBA degree specialized in marketing or branding strategy, because I want to enhance my knowledge from what I've learned throughout the real working experience in the years before. So in the next 10 years, I would like to see myself sitting on global leadership positions as global marketing managers inside a reputed multinational corporations. With those outputs, I need the right inputs to be able to get me to what I want to accomplish in the future. So earlier in awareness, I've already mentioned my characters, my personal traits and also behaviors, and those traits can also be classified in these 3 basic human capitals, which are intellectual capital, emotional capital, and social capital. Those inputs that I have possessed need to further be processed, developed, and also applied in real work experience. To sharpen those capitals, I use my learnings with 2 years with Professor Dr. Casey Chan and also apply my learning and knowledge to the real world experience. So, what have I learned, developed, and applied actually? First is the learning of holistic thinking itself, which consists of holistic, systematic, and critical thinking. Holistic thinking actually teaches me how to construct a thorough analysis and also to be systematic in providing analysis. This holistic thinking also taught me to be critical, to always challenge the new ideas. So now I have applied this holistic thinking during my internship program last summer in Solidians Asia Pacific. So this company is a management consulting firm focuses on Asia Pacific region. With those holistic thinking, I have actually able to construct a comprehensive step-by-step analysis to be provided to the partners or consultants, and then the partners or consultant will also align the analysis with what the client companies actually wants and proposing a strategic plan. After proposing a strategic plan, this consultancy actually ended with presenting the risk to be anticipated by the client companies in the future when implementing the strategic action plan. So this step of analysis inside management consulting firms actually similar to 6A frameworks as developed by Professor Dr. Casey Chan, and I believe the learnings of 6A framework and also holistic thinking will enable to enhance my competencies later in real work experience to enhance my intellectual capital. Second, in emotional capital. Throughout my learning with Professor Dr. Casey Chan, I have developed myself to become preserved and also tough when handling with projects, even when handling with a difficult one. So this actually was helpful when I was having my internship program in Solidians Asia Pacific, a management consulting firms. So in consulting firms, I experienced the real thing, so-called deadlines, and also being pressured by highest expectations given by the consultants and also the partners above my levels. And through that, I have to be able to keep my emotion in control and also keep my mind steady and cool to be able to think strategically to give the best results. First is the learning of holistic thinking itself, which consists of holistic, systematic, and critical thinking. Holistic thinking actually teaches me how to construct a thorough analysis and also to be systematic in providing analysis. This holistic thinking also taught me to be critical, to always challenge the new ideas. So now I have applied this holistic thinking during my internship program last summer in Solidians Asia Pacific. So this company is a management consulting firm focuses on Asia Pacific region. With those holistic thinking, I have actually able to construct a comprehensive step-by-step analysis to be provided to the partners or consultants, and then the partners or consultant will also align the analysis with what the client companies actually wants and proposing a strategic plan. After proposing a strategic plan, this consultancy actually ended with presenting the risk to be anticipated by the client companies in the future when implementing the strategic action plan. So this step of analysis inside management consulting firms actually similar to 6A frameworks as developed by Professor Dr. Casey Chan, and I believe the learnings of 6A framework and also holistic thinking will enable to enhance my competencies later in real work experience to enhance my intellectual capital. Therefore, I have created my own input, process, output, and eventually I need to be able to monitor my output performance by using the balance scorecard to be developed future. And through this balance scorecard, I'll be able to assess what are the areas that I need to improve in the future to reach the targeted goals. After knowing my inputs and process to be able to get me to the success goal that I have planned, now here in the assurance, I would like to assess whether do I have the right competence, capacity, and capability to be able to bring me to the success and to ensure my future path later on. To assess the assurance on how will I get to the success, here I would like to assess using these 5 levels of leadership development. To ensure the success, I need to be excelled in each layer of this leadership development. Now let's start with the first one, to become a highly capable individuals. So I believe that my learnings through international business management courses in Petra has equipped me with the right knowledge, theory, and also learnings to prepare me for my future career path later on. So now, however, excel only within myself is not enough, because eventually I need to be able to work within a team and become a team player, become a contributing team member. So throughout the study, I have learned how to work with a fast-paced and also dynamic group members, allowing me to be able to adjust and deal with different type of people inside the groups. Now, in the next step is to become a competent manager and also effective leaders. And through the assessments, I know that I have been prepared to become an effective leader with some areas of improvement. Now, the ultimate goal is to be able to master change agent. As I'm aiming for global leadership position in multinational corporations, there is a need for me to be able to leading change to cope with dynamic environmental changes. However, as you can see in my leadership assessment, that facilitating leading change are the least is the least capability that I possess for my leadership style. Therefore, these areas of capability needs to be improved for the success in the future. So, from awareness until assurance, I have assessed myself and prepared myself to create a comprehensive analysis for my own future, to think about my future. However, with all of those plannings and schedules, it cannot be fully reliable. Why? Because there are other externalities that might influence my future path. To assist the changes to transform, this framework of Blue Ocean strategy developed by Chan Kim and Renee McBird can be applied. From this framework, we need to know which of our personal traits need to be changed and to be transformed. So as for me, I have to know what are my traits that I need to raise, reduce, eliminate, and create to cope with the changes occurring in the future. In fact, this framework is not only applicable for developing business strategy, but also to develop our life strategy. To conclude this sharing, to conclude everything, I have already shared to you all my point of view, and I have explained to you how I will bring my characters and traits to reach a global success in the future. And I have also created a vision and missions and knows how to actually get there, and how should I apply my learnings that I've gathered these 2 years with Professor Dr. Casey Chance to enable me to reach my vision later on. However, with all of those plans and schedules, it's actually not enough, because there are other externalities factors that might impact my path both positively and negatively. Therefore, there is a need for me to be able to adjust and transform myself to cope with the dynamic changes of environment. Before I close this sharing, there is one advice that I would like to give to all of you, is to remember these key points, which are integrate, implement, innovate, and improve. So the first thing you need to do is to be able to integrate what you have right now, your skills, your capabilities, and mindsets with what you want to achieve in the future. Now the second step is actually to be able to implement or do what you want to accomplish in the future. Now the third step is actually to innovate, to leverage your key strengths to be able to get you to what you envision yourself to be. And the last step is actually to improve, because this world actually keep changing, and you cannot actually rely on the world to be able to support you all the time, but you are the one who needs to improve and transform yourself to be a better version of you to suit with the changes. Okay, so to close this sharing, I would like to close it with an axiom. Knowing only yourself alone is not enough. But the most important thing is knowing how to transform into a better you to reach success. I am Priscilla Christie Wijaya. Thank you.